June 8, 1967, the USS Liberty, a United States Navy intelligence ship, is cruising in international waters off the coast of Egypt. What began as a routine mission during the height of the Six-Day War would end in one of the most controversial and tragic events in U.S. military history. Today, we uncover the attack on the USS Liberty, the ensuing cover-up, and the unanswered questions that linger over half a century later. It was a clear day, and the USS Liberty was stationed in international waters near the Sinai Peninsula, monitoring communications during the war between Israel and its neighboring Arab states. USS Liberty asked before to be escorted by a destroyer, but that was denied by the superiority. The ship was clearly identified with a long American flag, and the designation GTR-5 was painted on the bow port and the starboard sides. USS Liberty was written in English on her stern. On June 7, the ship was overflown for Israeli reconnaissance aircraft, and the same activity was repeated on the morning of June 8. Also, small Israeli plane took photos of the ship. The American ship was positively identified as friendly by the IDF. At approximately 2 p.m., when Mirage and MYE jets painted black with no markings launched an unprovoked assault on the ship. At the moment, the crew assumed that it was an Arab state. The antennas were shot away in the first few minutes, and they couldn't even call for help. The attack began with strafing runs, followed by napalm bombs. The Liberty's crew scrambled to survive as the aircrafts relentlessly pounded the ship. Moments later, Israeli torpedo boats joined the assault, launching 5 torpedoes, one of which struck the ship, creating a massive hole and killing dozens of sailors. Completely defenseless. It felt deliberate. There was no way they didn't know that the USS Liberty was an American ship. The American flags were flying clearly. The attack lasted over an hour. By the end, 34 American crew members were dead, and 171 were wounded. Despite the carnage, the Liberty miraculously remained afloat. The ship's crew managed to restore communications and sent out a distress signal to the 6th Fleet that was close to Vietnam. Captain Tully, skipper of the U.S. Saratoga, dispatched fighter jets to assist. However, to the astonishment of the Liberty's crew, the jets were recalled by orders from the Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara. Another help was recalled by President Lyndon Johnson himself, who, according with Philip Towney's testimony of Johnson, said, "I don't care about few dead sailors. I will not embarrass my ally Israel. Return to base immediately." The Liberty was left to fend for itself for more than 17 hours, even when help was 40 minutes away. USS America and USS Davis arrived to help the wounded and survivors. After the rescue, according with Towney's testimony with Candace Owens, they were ordered to do not speak of the attack to anyone, even each other. In the days following the attack, the Israeli government issued an official apology, claiming the attack was a tragic mistake. They stated that the USS Liberty was misidentified as an Egyptian ship, but many of the ship's survivors and independent investigators have strongly disputed this explanation. One evidence: the USS Liberty was clearly marked with U.S. flags and identification numbers. To survivor testimony, crew members reported low-flying Israeli aircraft surveilling the ship hours before the attack. 3 intercepted communications, declassified NSA documents, later suggested that Israeli pilots had identified the ship as American before the attack. Despite the overwhelming evidence, the U.S. government accepted Israel's explanation and closed the investigation quickly. There was immense political pressure to maintain the U.S.-Israel alliance, especially during the Cold War. The Liberty's case was swept under the rug. So, why would Israel attack an ally's ship? Multiple theories have emerged over the years, one preventing intelligence leaks. Some believe Israel feared the Liberty was intercepting sensitive communications about Israeli military operations, including possible war crimes in Sinai. 2. False flag operation. Another theory suggests Israel intended to sink the Liberty and blame Egypt, drawing the U.S. fully into the war on Israel's side. 3. Accident. Supporters of the official explanation maintain it was a tragic case of mistaken identity. However, this theory faces significant scrutiny given the ship's clear markings and the deliberate nature of the attack. For the survivors, the attack on the USS Liberty remains a painful memory. Many feel abandoned by their own government. "We've been fighting for decades to get the truth out. The government failed us then, and continues to fail us now," said Towney. To this day, the incident raises troubling questions. Why did the U.S. government recall rescue aircraft? Why was Israel's explanation accepted despite conflicting evidence? And why has the incident been largely forgotten in mainstream history? The attack on the USS Liberty highlights the complexities of geopolitics and the lengths governments will go to protect alliances. But the truth deserves to be known. The USS Liberty's story is one of courage, tragedy, and unanswered questions. It serves as a stark reminder of the sacrifices made by service members and the importance of holding governments accountable.